Hey, what's up, guys? I just have to fire an invite up off to Bobby, and then we'll be off to the races. Hold on one second. Um, one sec. Okay. That's stupid. Sixth. One sec. Chat. Let me just tell him that it was sent. Rather uninspiring slate, to say the least. Let me see if we can talk a little football as well. The one big news, I guess, is that Giovanni Bernard is playing. I think he's playing. It's going to render him pretty chalky, I think. Let's get Bobby in here. Hey, what's up, Bobby?
Hey, what's up, man?
So Mrs. Sheets has it as only a yellow. I don't think it's. I'm not worried that much.
Yep. Nor am I.
Yeah.
So knock on wood. Hopefully we'll be clear. It looks. I mean, Roth only has it. Doesn't even have it that bad anymore.
Okay.
So I'm not as worried. It's just, yeah. I think we'll be. I think that like everything around looks okay to me. I mean, based on if I was just looking on my own, I would feel comfortable going ahead with everything. What's up, Jason? How you doing, buddy? Just saying hello to the chat as they pop on in. But yeah, so we've got, it's interesting. There's some ways to get different, which I sort of like what I've done. I'm not saying, look, the most important thing on these slates to remember is bankroll management, right? Like, let's not get crazy with it. But in my big buy-in lineups, I mean, I've got like a little mini Met stack in one. And I have my pitcher as Barrios in the other.
On
well, I have him in one on DraftKings too, but not in my big buy-in one. I do have him as my big buy-in one on FanDuel, which he'll be a little bit more owned, I'm guessing.
So if you don't mind, so who are your pitchers in your big buy-in on DraftKings?
On DraftKings, it's Stroman and Hernandez.
That's beautiful because I have, of course, Suarez and Means.
Suarez and Means were the other one in my 121 or whatever. I actually really like Stroman here, and I actually, I think he makes plenty of sense. The only thing is, I'm just going to go back to what I was saying about Barrios. Unfortunately, where I am using Barrios as my number one pitcher, he still won't be owned like the other guys will. And he's a significantly better pitcher than every other pitcher against a team that strikes out more than most of the other teams we have. Not all of them, but most of them. And I have a 4-man Brave stack in my main one on DraftKings that doesn't include Albies or Freeman.
Ooh, there you go.
But it does include it's Pete Alonso and JD Davis are in that lineup, and Juan Soto and Hernandez from Washington. I actually think that Juan Soto, initially horrible percentages, is actually going to be pretty high owned, obviously, but I don't think anybody's playing Yadiel Hernandez. So that's one of my low owned plays, and then the Alonso and what's his name, JD Davis, who's going to be popular, but I don't think Pete Alonso is getting played much. So he's actually in both my big ones on DraftKings. And on FanDuel, I have a combo stack of Toronto and the chalky Toronto and Atlanta, but I have it in a weird way. I'm playing Kevin Smith in a 3-man Toronto stack, which is kind of weird. And I'm also playing Berríos as my starting pitcher.
Yeah, so there's all kinds of ways you could play. So I'm a little chalkier. So I have Atlanta, Toronto, and Toronto as my main deals, and then I have the Yankees also.
Right.
So, and then with the pitching, I have this is DraftKings. I have Suarez the most, and then Suarez at 57%. I have. Then I have Means and Luzardo both at like 40, and then I have some Stroman, some I don't have the same amount of as I only have one lineup with Berríos. That's I guess it's where we're a little different.
Well, look, I'm making the play partially because of the situation. You know what I mean? Like, the truth is, to be honest, on a big slate, I think I would take a shot on Berríos. So that is when I think to myself that if I would take a shot on Berríos at 9,100 on a big slate against the Yankees, how the hell am I not going to do it with no ownership here?
Yeah.
We've seen a lot worse pitchers put up 25s and 30s against the Yankees than Berríos. And Berríos has put up 24 and 38 in his last 2 games. We know he has a ceiling. We know he's got a pretty long leash. I just don't really understand why no one's – and by far the best pitchers umpire on the slate. Not even close. So I don't understand why everyone's going to go do that. I did think that for a while, like, look, if I'm playing a ton of lineups, and maybe that is a way I'll go sometime. Maybe I'll max enter sometime on this. But I would have gotten to Colorado as a stack. I would have gotten to more Senzatella as a pitcher. Those are the guys off the board. Like, why are we saying now Luzardo? Look, we've seen the ceiling from him, and we know Senzatella is oddly better at home. Okay, but Luzardo is a guy who's gotten over. Has he gotten over? He's gotten over like 15 like once this year, right? He's got a 32, a 20, and a 26, and a 14, and that's out of 20 starts. Why would everybody play? Or why are we going to play him over Senzatella, who basically is regularly in, and look, I'm not saying that he's a better pitcher, Senzatella. I'm just saying he's a good pitcher who works through things, who doesn't give up much power. And he's put up 27 against the Dodgers last week. He put up 16 against Atlanta the other day. Isn't he a better play at like 1% than what's his name at 20%? So like you get 1/10 to 1/20th the thing against Luzardo. I'll take him to outscore Luzardo on like about 40% of the time here, maybe even higher. So I just think that's an interesting play if you're going to play a bunch of large field stuff. I just didn't get to enough of it, and as we kept going, I don't love the Carlos Hernandez thing. I was originally going to stack against him when I thought he was going to be really popular, but I saw that the ownership was going towards Means, so I ended up switching it up a little bit and playing a little more Carlos Hernandez.
Yeah, Carlos Hernandez is my pitcher in the big buy-in on FanDuel, actually.
Okay. Oh, that's actually cool. I mean, that makes sense. Well, hey, look, you could maybe it's this like last night we almost got one on each site. Maybe tonight we get one on each site.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not? But yeah, I can't resist the Alonso against any lefty. I guess especially we have a volatile pitcher with no ownership outside of JD Davis on the other side. It's just hard for me to resist, man. Like I want to take some of the the shots. I do have Javi Baez in the other one where I have 2 big buy-in or 2 big-ish, 1 big buy-in, 1 less big buy-in, and I have 2 and 4 Mets in those 2 stacks, and the rest are Braves. There's 5 Braves in one, and there's 4 Braves in the other one.
Yeah, as I was saying, it's a pretty, I'd say a very, I guess the word I was looking for is very uninspiring slate.
Yeah, it's not that exciting. I'm sure we'll be talking football. Yeah, there goes the first football thing. Justin S is going to fade all of the running game for the Bucks. I'm going the other way. I want to be overexposed probably to each of those guys, and I don't mind playing 2 of them together on DraftKings. So
which ones?
on Bernard, Fournette, and Jones.
Okay.
I do think the Burnett thing is a little bit of a longer shot play than people are acting like it is. It is definitely a long shot play.
Which one? Fournette?
What? No. Bernard.
Oh.
Like it should be treated.
I think Bernard's going to be like. I would imagine. I thought he was going to be chalk. So
what about on FanDuel?
What about on
FanDuel? Right?
I'm looking. I don't think I have him on FanDuel.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I am very into the very into the fade over there. It doesn't make any sense, but no one's going to play him over there either. But again, you're looking for the PPR. Maybe he breaks one kind of a thing, and he's cheap on DraftKings. There's not really there's not so much of a reason to play him on FanDuel, except for I'm playing 150 lineups, and I like getting a little bit different in a few spots. I have a lot of Antonio Brown as my captain.
Yeah.
Look, man, you want to try and get different and win it. I mean, look, if you want to try and win these things, why can't Antonio Brown be the highest scoring player on the slate? I really don't think that it's that far-fetched at all.
No, I believe though that this is the year of crap. I believe this is the year of Chris Godwin. By the way,
I like Godwin too, but I mean, look, they have 3 great receivers, and I have a lot of Cameron Brate is the other guy I got to quite a bit.
Ooh, you really did that, huh?
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I think there's touchdown upside there.
I'm just going to change one thing on FanDuel. I got a bunch of Antonio Brown on FanDuel as well, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's me too. He's my captain in a lot of my line. I mean, which is weird because then you're like betting on him to be the highest scoring player. But there's no reason he can't have, just like Godwin, I think that people are looking at them as this huge difference, and you really shouldn't use last year as so much of a barometer, in my opinion. Like, were these guys considered the year before? If we would have talked about them being a better receiver than Antonio Brown, it would have been nuts. Last year, he comes in, they had a whole camp. They've got it. This time they had it. You know what I mean? He has a full season. Why are we treating him like he's a much worse receiver than Godwin and Evans? I don't get it. So I will make that. No matter what happens, regardless of the result, I'm not going to stop playing Antonio Brown. And by the way, he was the highest scoring player on his of the receivers in 2 out of the last 7 games of the season. Not that that's anything amazing, but that's something, you know what I mean? And that's in a season where he didn't have his full time there. He also was the highest scoring player in one of the games. He had 11 catches for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's on the table against the Cowboys. And I think we're going to see the rebirth of Antonio Brown this year. And I am maybe we won't show up quite as much numbers wise because of the time that the guys he's splitting with. But I can't help myself. I have a take. I'm going to stick to it. We got from Banks the top pitcher on FanDuel, and you just 4-second Braves on FanDuel. Look, you have to play really weird. You should if you play these slates, play small and play expecting to lose, like really expecting to lose, and get weird with it. So my number 1 pitcher on FanDuel is Barrios. I don't have another pitcher in any lineup on FanDuel.
Oh, but by the way, for people who are following it in the Discord, people were asking me about golf, and I put in. I said that I wasn't going to do any projections this week because I just didn't have enough information because of some Euro event. But I did identify a couple of like Euro guys that I liked. If anybody wanted to play, and I said I was going to play. Look at us! After the first day in the big one, we're in 4th place.
Look at you, jeez.
Yeah,
beautiful. So, I didn't even. By the way, I legitimately just thought there wasn't any golf happening. I was not paying attention to golf this week because it was not on my radar.
Yeah. So we got to that. So that's good news. So just again, some more announcements. So tomorrow I'm going away, but I will be able to. I'll update projections, and this is more for you, Bobby. Also, so I'll put my projections up for the day on Friday, tomorrow, and it's possible I can get to some Saturday stuff. It's just gonna be tough. Now, I usually manage to get it done when I say I can't do it, but it's gonna be interesting. So I apologize in advance if I'm gone for the weekend, but I will do my best.
All right, I appreciate
best
it.
I can say.
Appreciate it. Yeah, no, I mean, so you're gone this weekend, but then I'm guessing most of the weekends for the NFL, you'll probably end up being somewhere. By the way, where are you going?
Oh, dude, I told you where I'm going. I'm going to be in Richmond for the NASCAR race.
Oh my goodness, that's right.
Yeah,
I didn't forget about that. That's awesome.
Yeah, my son is coming with a whole posse of people from UVA.
That's wild.
Yeah.
You fly down there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too
my first NASCAR race ever.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I mean, like I have to do a tour of like all the ancillary sports. So I did the tennis a couple of days ago, right?
Yeah.
I went to golf the week before. I'm doing Richmond. All I got to do next, I got to fly to Asia to watch one of those LOL tournaments.
That's that's next on the big sports list. I like it. That's pretty funny.
Of course, I can't ever make it to a Yankee game 15 minutes from my house, but
right, exactly. You live in only the mecca of like the world, and you've got everybody's playing this. Although I don't think. Wait, are the Jets or the Giants at home? The Giants are at home, not the Jets.
Yeah, they're this weekend. Yeah, Giants playing against Denver. Oh, but that's a disaster. You can't go to a football game.
Why?
Oh, if you have the parking, and it's a shit show to go to a football game.
How far away is it from like your house to get?
Oh, it's nothing. It's like an hour.
Oh yeah,
to Giant Stadium, but it's an hour to get in there, and then like another hour to park, and then like an hour and a half to get out of the place when you're done. It's terrible.
Yeah, that's a nightmare.
It's terrible. It's like going to the airport in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's like going. Well, I mean, look, when the Dodgers are in the World Series and playoffs and all that, there's been times where we've Ubered over there, and then I get stuck and I just walk home. It's a long walk.
Right, that's right.
But it's a long walk that if you take the wrong way, you're going to end up in a very, very, very dangerous situation.
I know that area a little bit.
Yeah, I literally I had enough people coming up to me where I like had to take my shirt off and start screaming like a lunatic.
What?
No, because it's literally like I live in a great area, but if you go about a half mile away, you run into probably not the worst part of LA, but certainly the saddest part of LA, the most homeless situation and all that. And people literally will throw themselves in front of your car if you're driving a car just to try and get something. It's really sad. But when I ended up there, I took a wrong turn when I was down here for like one of the first times. And I had to, in order to try and make myself, it's a weird way of blending in, but I realized that I was having too many people come up to me and it was starting to be a posse. So I just took my shirt off and I just started screaming like a lunatic and sort of like running over the place, acting like a crazy person, and everybody left me alone. I know it sounds crazy, but it actually works. It really does.
Okay.
What do you think the odds are tonight? I think on DraftKings, there's like, it's low odds of someone winning the showdown alone, but I think it's possible. I don't know if it's possible on FanDuel.
I don't think it's possible on DraftKings either. I mean, it's possible if you get a big game out of.
We've seen it though. I mean, it happened in a Super Bowl 2 years ago.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah, which is like the hardest one to get too, because you're not going to get those weird plays and you know what I mean? Like, who was it? We had a couple earlier this year in the NBA where the guys won it, which NBA is really tough, obviously, also. But the guy won it with basically all chalk, but leaving like I think he left like 10K on the table or something crazy.
Well, okay, so who can blow up the slate? You can get like Scotty Miller. He could do something.
That's what I did. Yeah.
You obviously OJ Howard, but
is it obvious?
I mean, no, obvious with respect to like guys that could, that are going to be low owned.
Right. I got
maybe Dalton Schultz.
Dalton Schultz. Well, I'm telling you, Cameron Brate.
The lowest. Just to show you, I'll give you guys a quick thing. So this is the FanDuel Showdown projections, whatever. Like I just look at like the lowest guys I have a projection for are going to be this FanDuel, Brate, Miller, OJ Howard, and Schultz. So I guess those are the guys that have a shot on FanDuel to do something.
Yeah. I like that.
You can't win FanDuel by yourself. You just can't do it.
What if you play Braid as a captain and he has 3 touchdowns? Even
Right.
then, I don't know.
No, that you could do, sure.
I don't know. I don't know if it's enough though. Even literally, he could catch 3 touchdown passes and still he would probably still not be the highest scoring player on the slate because they'll all be 1-yarders. Like, and then Brady's gonna have a good portion of those points anyway. Everything on FanDuel, like I hate showdowns on FanDuel, but I kind of couldn't resist on the first slate of the year doing it. I really think it's a terrible system, and I can't believe they haven't improved it. At least when they have like the secondary MVP, it gives you a little bit of thought, but it's totally different on FanDuel. I guess to answer your question, Brian, you basically shouldn't be playing guys you don't. I mean, it's pretty simple. That don't have at least some chance to be the highest scoring player on the slate in the captain spot. There's no value. You're not getting anything extra you're not getting any extra money, obviously. So it's very different. So playing all these, even like the break play, like I just said, like even if he catches 3 touchdowns, he still probably is not the highest scoring player on the slate.
Well, so here's a you want to know how you can win DraftKings by yourself? Okay, so this is what you could do, and this definitely, and people are probably going to play this, but this definitely has paths to victory. Is doing stuff like Cowboys defense in the captain.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally.
I mean, because Brady is Brady, and every once in a while, you know what I mean? You get those Brady games.
No, but also, I mean, there's no reason. Look, you get a kickoff return and a fumble recovery for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Maybe sacks in there as well. All of a sudden, you're looking like pretty good. The problem is this game is probably going to be the highest scoring of career. That might not even win. But
then what you need, then what you need to beat all those optimizer players that have Cowboys and Zeke combined. So what you want to do is you want to have Cowboys captain with like Pollard.
Right.
then you're off. Then you're on to a good start.
Right. Something like that would be a good way to go. Yeah. We used to have Darren Sproles when he was the backup for. I remember. I mean, I had a buddy who won. He won 150K, I think, on the showdown thing. It was like the first place of it was a big 180 that time. And he did it with but he had 2 lineups in there, and he had one with the defense, and then Darren Sproles, as defense's captain, and the other one with Darren Sproles. And he ended up like first and whatever, 4th in it, because they both went completely off. But partly because he ran 2 kickoffs, 2 punts back. So obviously that's touchdowns for both.
Can Blake Jarwin score 2 touchdowns?
Probably not, but it's possible. I would say Cameron Braid is more likely to score 2 touchdowns than Blake Jarwin. Jarwin's better play on DraftKings, probably. Well, I don't know if he's better. He probably scores more fantasy points more often, but that doesn't mean anything. For some reason, I have exactly 55 left on the table in like almost all my FanDuel lineups that were not hand built, that were using Optimizer. And I'm not sure why that is. It's like they really went out of their way to not play either Brady or Dak, which is weird because between the two of them, they should have been in about 75% of my lineups on FanDuel. Less so on DraftKings, obviously.
Yeah, I think Scotty Miller's got to be the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would tend to agree with that.
Guys that like rate to get like 0 targets, like those are the.
Yeah.
But every time Scotty Miller's played, I think he scores a touchdown. No.
No, I mean he's had some moments, but it's again, these are more like DraftKings things for me because the problem is the captain on FanDuel. So that's why I like Antonio Brown as the captain. Look, these are not optimal plays. Both these slates, baseball and football tonight, we're not talking about optimal. I don't want to have people at me and say, I can't believe you said play Berrios. I can't believe you said Antonio Brown as the captain. He had no catches, no targets. You're just trying to find the way that has a chance that you're going to get different. You know what I mean? Berrios gives up 5 runs in the first inning. I don't want to hear it. I really don't.
But then again, we did talk about this in our breakdown. When you're playing showdown and you're playing regular, whatever it is, don't. How do I put this the right way? Don't play crap that has no chance. You know what I mean? Like you could come up with ways to be different. Great, but I'll use the same example. You could pick 6 guys that are just on the injured reserve, and I promise you'll have a unique lineup. All right. But
how about the one guy who did win the million last year, though? That was the weirdest thing of all time. That guy who, when Derek Carr was a starting quarterback, Marcus Mariota hadn't played 1 snap.
Oh,
and then he gets hurt in the first quarter. And Marcus Mariota, not only then, though, that does he have to get it. Mariota has 4 touchdown passes and 1 rushing in the second half on a comeback. and he's like, there was like 3 people in the whole thing that had him, and it wasn't like he was cheap either. He was priced the same as Derek Carr.
And you realize what that result did. That result made backup quarterbacks like 3 times as high owned as they should be for the rest of the year.
Absolutely. Backup running backs, yes. 4th string receivers, yes. Backup quarterbacks, it's a tough.
Ooh, I got to take this. Hold on.
Okay, do your thing.
Hello.
Guys, I'll keep talking to you. Any other questions? I know it's not a very fun slate either one, but we're going to at least have some football back. That's exciting. I've got my lucky bat out just because I always bring it out for when we get some real interesting stuff going, whether it's NBA or football. But yeah, it's I would just encourage everybody to not get carried away and play too much on these slates.
1.
What's that?
Well, no,
Oh, you're talking to me.
I'm doing something else here.
So let's see. CD Lamb, we want a little bit of. I do think the best way to try and take a shot on FanDuel, guys, is to captain a player on a team and then play 4 from the other side. And I would lean running back if I was going to play that style, obviously, because receiver correlates with the quarterback. So, like, if you're going to play like Leonard Fournette or Ronald Jones and all the Cowboys, gives you at least a chance to be somewhat unique, you know? But it's really hard to do on FanDuel it's just really hard to do. Or leave a ton of money on the table and instead of playing Zeke, play Pollard straight up or something weird like that. You have to do something weird if you want to get different, but you don't have to necessarily go that far off the map, I don't think.
I'm just going to tell you guys, by the way, I'm on this. Right, so this is like kind of a snapshot of what the site looks like. We will get this a little more organized so you can find what you need.
It'll be organized. It'll be prettier. But if you want any NFL, all of our stuff should be going over to NFL now for my plays also. My plays are also for NFL and football, baseball. They're not just MLB. I'm just going to change that. I've edited it already. It just hasn't been edited on the site yet. And we've got some, cool new stuff that's going to actually make it look better. And a really cool device that I'm just going to tease a little bit. That's going to allow you guys to search for basically anyone in the industry. You'll be able to do a keyword search, and it'll bring up them talking about whatever player, whatever search you're looking for, sleepers, whatever the word is. If it's Tom Brady, Antonio Brown, or whatever for tonight, it will immediately take you to anyone else's part of the video where they talk about them, not just ours. So that's a kind of a cool thing to look out for, which we've got coming really soon. Actually, we just need to. It'll be a little sloppy at first, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's kind of amazing.
I think it's incredible too. I really do. I'm shocked that you're able to.
And I'm gonna shout out to my brother-in-law, but dude, shout out for Pierce for giving us the idea.
Well, we had talked about actually. Me and you had sort of talked about, but I was talking more about people like who people liked and what information they were giving out for free. I didn't think about the video aspect of it, but shout out to Pierce, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, Rody just hit it in our Discord, by the way. But that is what you want to look for on FanDuel. Like you're playing more for touchdowns than you are for catches. You're playing more. You don't want you want yards, and it doesn't matter how many receptions somebody has. Like a guy like use Jarvis Landry is the best example. High volume, going to get a ton of targets. Jamison Crowder when he's normal. Those are worse plays always on FanDuel than they are on DraftKings. Guys like that.
The other thing I will say, by the way, and again, if you get projections for showdown slates and go to an optimizer and put them in the optimizer and then run lineups, you just have no chance to win. You're gonna get at best median projections that are duped by the entire universe. Like you have to just be a little bit artful with what you do, like either intentionally leave money on the table, like overstack maybe or understack certain situations. In showdowns, you don't want. And I thought about this. I was driving somewhere today, and for a lot of different GPP slates, whether it be short slate MLB or showdown in general, you really don't need an optimizer. You need more of like a randomizer. You know what I mean? Like you want to actually make your lineups a little less, pretty. You want to make them look a little less obvious. If you want to get in the hunt and those things, you don't want to make them perfect. You want to make them get them a little scar on their head. You don't need one of these like perfect looking women or perfect
Right.
looking. You need someone with a little edge. You know, that's what you need in these showdown slates.
I totally agree, but I do think it's a little different, like the 180 and even the 33 on DraftKings and things like that.
Okay.
Like you can play an Antonio Brown and not leave much on the table as your captain and be different. You know, I mean, look, if you're only competing with 5% of the lineups, you're gonna have to get different somewhere else too. But that's not that hard to do.
Well, and I'll say something else. I mean, this might be like kind of a bad EV way of looking at it, but I'm telling you, I did really well in the showdowns leading toward the end of all these seasons before, you know, baseball started, whatever. And I kind of like got away from like going just totally bizarro world and made kind of good plays with a little bit of tweakiness or whatever. And you know what I found? I found that chopping with 7 people was not the end of the world. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Yeah, I thought pretty freaking damn good. You know what? Chopping with 7 people is better than coming in 55,000. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
if you can accept the fact that it's almost impossible to win this by yourself and don't just always try to do it, I think you could get good EV plays.
Yeah, I agree. I also think that that works. I mean, that's even more so true in NBA than any other sport because those are ones you just. I mean, it's almost impossible not to chop. The projections are closest to the reality thing, and you know, football though we do have enough randomness with the touchdown factor to where things could break a different way. The problem is you're not really like. You need, like on FanDuel, you need so much to happen because you've only got that one captain spot. I wish they had 4 different variations of things and they paid a little more for each one. And then why don't they do stuff like that? Like, I just feel like that would be, it's not that complicated. I think people think it'd be more complicated, but it's actually less complicated in my opinion.
Right.
But that's me. I think playing both defense is another thing that you can do. Again, it's not obviously not optimal, but
what about both kickers?
Both kickers. Actually, that's not even that bad, by the way. I actually don't think that'll be completely unowned.
I got one of my 20 with both kickers.
All right. Yeah, I don't mind that.
Yeah, I kind of do, but whatever. It is what it is. You got to hate it a little bit, I'm telling you.
No, absolutely true.
So is it lock? It's like 5 minutes to lock, right?
We have nothing else to talk about baseball-wise. We went through it all. There's only like two decisions to make tonight. Which way to get weird? And baseball is very different, by the way, guys. You can always win a baseball showdown slate. I wish we had big ones. There aren't big ones, so I don't really play them that much.
No, they're big enough where if we had the time, like some of the I think once a day there's one that pays like $5,000-$10,000 for first or something.
Yeah, but they're like a $10-$15 thing with a bunch of people, and that's okay. Like, but if you want to get really weird with it, like. I mean, I've won those too, but I've won 25,000 when it was 25,000 for first by
just a baseball one.
Just leave tons on the table. There's no reason. Yeah, it was during the playoffs they'll do them.
Nice.
And you just play the bottom of the lineup, or you can play a guy like when it was Tampa playing. I played Tampa playing against it was like a relief pitcher game last year, and I won like 10K off of it. But it was I played a guy who wasn't in the starting lineup because I knew he'd come in when they changed pitchers. You can get really weird like that and just get a guy at 0.1%. And if he does better than any of the starters guys, you know what I mean? Like what you did, you're good. I think you just hit like a double and a single, but still that was good enough. Let's see. Brady Pollard. So I tried to pair Pollard and Bernard together where I was going to play them just because I don't think that many people are playing them anyway, but if you want to get weird and different, that's the way I thought that made the most sense to me anyway. Godwin.
211, 435. All right, 430. So I was in the early slate for 300. I cast for 435. Already off to a good start.
I didn't even know. How did you even find a way to get 300 on the table?
No.
Oh, you put 20 in the $15?
Yeah. I
was like, how did you manage that? That's awesome.
Yeah. 20. So I played by 20. And there it is.
Yeah, I like it. I'm just editing down some lineups. And pretty much, I don't really have a whole lot else to go through. I'm just curious. I guess we can take a quick look at the ownerships for these guys.
Yeah, it's actually good. Oh, this is what we could do. Yeah,
We got 3 minutes still till we have to we have it.
Yeah. Look outside the weather. I got a couple of. I'm leaving money on the table in a lot of the baseballs tonight. I mean, nothing major, but
yeah. CD and
I do have a little exposure. I have some exposure with Tampa in Survivor Pool, so that's something to root for me a little bit.
Nice. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna live or die on this Antonio Brown hill tonight and let that be it.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I got 50. I have 50% of Antonio Brown. That's what I got.
50%.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
It's about the field, right? I mean, like.
No. I think he'll be 30%, maybe.
Okay.
20%, 20-some percent. But for captain, I don't think anybody's.
Like probably 10 or 15 in the captain, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think Brady's going to be in the captain? Like 35? Not that much, right? Maybe.
No.
Okay.
Like 20.
Okay. And then Prescott will be next. I mean.
Yeah. Dak might even be more owned. But yeah. I don't really have a whole bunch of, as we talked about earlier, I don't have a bunch of Zeke.
Yeah, I'd like to. I would like to share with you all of my Zeke lineups. All my Zeke lineups are on my screen right now. You can see them all if you look at them.
Let's see. Should have known what you were doing there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I guess that's it. I want to get going because I want to.
Do your thing.
All right. Good luck, everybody, and I guess I won't see you guys live for a while, but I'll be recording hopefully with Bobby before I get out of here tomorrow. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna be. If you want to record something tomorrow, we got to get it done though because I'm leaving here at like 12. I think.
Okay. Yeah, I can.
I'll be in touch later. We'll see what we can do. If not, you can handle it.
Okay, sounds good, buddy. All right.
Talk to you
Good luck,
later.
everybody.